everyone. This is a group compilation report of Week 8 topic, Delivering Value via Sustainable Supply Cycle Strategies. I am Juelino Reducto Ceballos, reporting the Sustainable Supply Cycle definitions, the importance in business in a modern world. My objective is to report, explore key elements, benefit implementation strategies of sustainable supply cycle and their role enhancing business values organizations. The definition of sustainable supply cycle is to involve designing, resourcing, manufacturing, and distributing products in a way that minimizes environmental impact while maintaining efficiency, profitability. The importance in business modern companies can increasingly adopt sustainable strategies due consuming demand, regulatory pressures, and long-term costs and savings associated with green practices. The case study of Starbucks Shared Planet Program. In overview, Starbucks sustainability commitment has integrated sustainable into supply chain through responsible sourcing, ethical farming practices, and social impact program. Next, ethical sourcing and supply engagement. The company worked closely with coffee farmers to ensure ethical practices, offering incentives in sustainable farming and fair wages. Also, environmental and social impacts applied by Starbucks has implemented initiatives such as reducing carbon emission, using recyclable packaging, and investing in a community that supply their coffee beans. Third topic, the diagnosing elements of sustainable supply cycle. We have three components. A supply chain rule is to enhance the brand value, customer loyalty, and operational efficiency by reducing waste and increasing transparency. Example of it is that Unilever has reduced environmental footprints by redesigning its supply chain to focus on waste reduction and renewable energy use. The triple bottom line approach, or the economic, social, and environment, business must balance profitability, social responsible, and environmental impact to achieve long-term success. Next is the key elements of sustainable supply cycle. Under of it is a sourcing and procurement. Ethical sourcing ensures the raw materials from responsible suppliers who follow environmental social standards, like Kia source wooden from FSC certificate of forest to ensure responsible forestry practices. Next key element is manufacturing and operation, and implementing energy efficiency reproduction method, reducing waste, and using renewable energy resources decrease. Example applied by Tesla using solar-powered GAFIA factories to manufacturing electric vehicle. Next key element is logistic and distribution. Adapt by eco-friendly transportation methods such as electric vehicle and optimizing delivery routes to minimize carbon emission. Like Deeds by DHL use electric vehicle vans and bicycle in new urban areas to reduce emission. Next key elements is reproduce life cycle management or product life cycle management to ensure operating circulatory economy principles by designing the product that can be reused, recycled, and reproduced. Applied example by HP offers a printer cartridge, recycling program, and using recyclable plastic in manufacturing. Also, government and compliance, ensuring enhanced and sustainable regulation, including ESG, environmental, social, and governance framework, and ISO 14000 certification, commonly known as ISO 14 standard. Toyota reports annually sustainability metrics and follow the global ESG standard. A best example. Benefits of sustainable supply. My next topic is cost savings and efficiency gain. Sustainable practice that leads reduction in energy consumption, waste reduction, and improve supply chain resilience. We have one electric general saves a million through energy efficiency inactive across the forestry. That is cost saving efficiency gain. And brand reputation and consumer trust. A company has sustainable practice, attract environmental conscious consumer, and enhance brand credibility. The Body Shop promotes an ethical sourcing of cruelty-free policy of boosting customers' loyalty. A best compensation. In a compliance with regulatory and global standards, meet a sustainable requirement has to avoid legal penalties and ensure a long-term operation and viability. Nestle company complies with international sustainable guidelines avoiding the trade restriction, competitive advancement, and marketing leadership. Sustainability driven by the companies different themselves in the marketplace, they are better positioning for future growth. For example, Tesla focus on sustainable innovation has made it a leader in the electric vehicle market. Fifth topic, sustainable and logistics. The definitions of importance, sustainable logistics involve minimizing the environmental impact of transportation, warehousing, and distributing operations. Next is the green transportation and fleet management, or adoption of hybrid electric vehicle, fuel efficiency driving practice, and route optimization reduction of carbon emission. Example, UPS, a user alternative fuel vehicle, and optimizing routing software to cut emissions. Next, under by the sustainable logistics is warehousing and distribution efficiency. And energy efficiency warehousing is a smart innovation management and optimize supply chain network and contribute to sustainability. Examples, Amazon use smart warehouse system powered by renewable energy. Next is the technology and innovation in logistics sustainability. Using of AI tool and blockchain and tracking and optimizing supply chain sustainable can be upgraded as innovation. Example, utilize blockchain transportation, transparent and sustainable maritime shopping have is a ISO 14 or ISO 14 standards and its role of sustainability. Overview: ISO 14 standard is a set of stern international standards designed to help businesses implement effective environmental management. An implementation strategy of business is a step of achieve ISO 14 certification include risk assignment, produce improvement, and compliance monitoring. Example of case study companies of ISO 14 standard has a success stories of organization that have improved sustainable through certifications. Like Canon achieved ISO 14,000 compliance and integrated environmental policies across all departments. For future outlook of the key waste elements and sustainable supply chain as of environmental, social, and economic benefits, it contribute long-term business success. Next is emerging trends and sustainable supply chain. These trends such as carbon neutral logistics, biodegradable packaging, and an AI-driven supply chain is an optimized tool to improve future outlook. Call and action business and stakeholders. Call to action business and stakeholders, encouraging business to invest in sustainability and activate, adopt green technologies and collaborate with stakeholders to adopt positive driving changes. Example is Walmart partners with the suppliers to improve packaging and sustainable and reduce waste across supply chain. Good morning, everyone.
Triple bottom line, which means that company can benefit economically, socially, and financially by focusing on sustainability. This means that a company can do well in terms of making money, helping society, and being environmentally friendly all at the same time. Triple bottom line, it also emphasizing the importance of companies focusing on sustainability and the different functions that make up a supply chain. It also shows how companies can benefit by incorporating environmentally friendly practices and owning more parts of the supply chain. The marketing definitions of a channel is a group of organizations that help to make a product available for people to buy. Logistics is about the organizations that are involved in getting the products and information from the company to the consumer. This definition focuses on the process of getting products to the consumers, but they don't talk about the value that the products offer. Channel is discussing how companies get their products to consumers and how they create value for consumers and how they can use their distributions channels to gain a competitive advantage. On the other hand, Porter's concept of a value chain looks at the activities of a company, thus to give them competitive advantage. This means understanding how the company's process of getting products to consumers add value, while this perspective good for understanding how to make products value to consumers of doesn't talk about how the process affects the environment. Supply chain is talking about the different stages involved in getting products from the environment to consumers and then dealing with them after they are used. This process includes how resources are obtained, processes, consumed and handled after use supply chain, mentions that this process creates value in terms of environment, social, and economic benefits. Understanding of importance of each stage in this supply cycle to maximize the values created. This means businesses need to carefully consider how they obtain resources, process them, sell products, and deal with them after they are used to ensure they are being efficient and creating value and environmental, social, and economic terms.
So hello sir, good afternoon. My name is Christian Rocala from Block 8, Bisbee 3rd year. So ngayon, pag-usapan natin kung ano yung inputs and outputs. So yung nakikita nyo sa likod is all about chart, process inputs, processing, products, unprocessed inputs, byproducts. So yan, iisa-isahin natin yan ngayon. So magsimula muna tayo or i-identify muna natin kung ano yung inputs, outputs, product. So number 1, ano nga yung inputs? Inputs include those factors processed by an entity higher in the supply chain, and they further include resources. Example, water, air, obtained from the environment. That is inputs. And how about naman kung ano yung outputs? Okay. Output, it refers to the result, product, or consequence of a process, system, or function. Yun. And how about yung product? Ano yung product? So, product are the focal outcomes of processing, and byproducts refers to all other results of processing. Okay? Dito, sa processing inputs, dito yun, or kasali dito yung mga raw material. For example, okay, let's say, may gagawin kang upuan. Yung mga raw materials, dito yung nabibilong sa inputs. Yan, sa inputs yan, sa process inputs. Tapos, ipaprocess yan, okay? Ipaprocess yan. Tapos, yung magiging final outcome, yung upuan, yun yung tinatawag nating products. Okay? Okay, dito, unprocessed inputs. So, unprocessed inputs, ito yung coming from sunlight. Let's say, you have may product ka na solar. So, dahil dun sa sunlight or yung tinatawag, yung sunlight, dito yun siya mabibilong sa unprocessed inputs. So, dahil may product ka ng solar, yun na yung, yung sunlight, yung makakatulong sa solar para magkaroon siya ng energy. Okay? And yung solar, yun yung byproduct. Dito. So, dito naman tayo sa iron ore. Dito. So, let's identify muna kung ano yung iron ore. Okay. Iron ore is a rock or mineral from which metallic iron can be economically extracted. Ito yung makukuha mo lang siya sa paligid mo. Makikita mo lang siya. Like rock or metal. And then, let's say, yung metal, ima-manufacture siya para maging steel coils. At saka, magiging slag. So, ano yung slag? So, ang slag is stony waste, matter separated from metals during the smelting or refining of ore. Yun, separated. Kumbaga, kinukuha yung mga dapat kunin na meron sa stone or else siniseparate yung dapat iseparate na hindi naman mapapakinabangan doon sa bato. Okay? Para gawin siyang metal. Yan. Ito yung dito na part. Para magiging carbon dioxide, magiging metal siya para makagawa ka ng sasakyan. Okay, dahil sa metal, marami ka magagawa, di ba? Yun. So, dito sa figure 8.3, inputs and output across a supply cycle. So dito basically paulit-ulit lang to. Okay. Bago 'yon, i-explain ko muna sa inyo isa-isa. So meron ditong iron ore, steel, bicycle, retailer, consumer, disposal. And then dito sa last part, sa pinaka ilalim, may environment. Yan. Okay, dito mataas sa iron ore. Yung sinabi ko kanina na makukuha mo lang sa paligid mo. Or rock or metals. Yun yan. So yung iron ore, gagawin siyang metal. Tapos yung metal na yun, gagawing sasakyan or bicycle. Tapos, mapunta siya sa retailer. Pagkatapos nun, ibibenta ni retailer at kukunin ni consumer. Pagkatapos, kapag naluma na or pinabayaan na or nadidispose na siya, dito na siya bibilong sa pinaka-disposal. Kumbaga, hindi na siya ginamit. Tapos, turn into naman, paulit-ulit lang. Gawa ka naman ng bago. Tapos, hanap ka naman, tapos gawin mo naman siyang metal, tapos gawin mo na siyang bicycle, bicycle. Tapos, kukunin naman ng retailer, ibibenta naman ng retailer kay consumer, i-dispose naman, parang ganun. Yun. So, dito na tayo sa sustainability scorecard. Sa last. Yan. So, okay, bago yan, i-identify muna natin or pag-usapan muna natin kung ano yung sustainability scorecard. So, sustainability scorecard is a total use by organization to measure, evaluate, and report their performance in relation to sustainable goals. So, dito, the best example here sa sustainability scorecard is yung pag-i-evaluate natin sa instructor natin. Depende sa students kung ilan yung ratings or rate na ibibigay niya doon sa instructor. Depende sa performance din naman ng instructor na ibinigay sa estudyante. So, for example, ako, tapos may ibinigay ako sa instructor na 4 ratings, which is yun yung pinaka-high. So, depende sa students. So, yun yung example dito sa sustainability scorecard. Depende sa pag-i-evaluate mo. And depende din sa performance na ipinapakita ng instructor sa students. And that's all. Thank you.
Hello guys, this is my reporting benefits of sustainable supply cycle. First, amo ni siya ang mga contents ang ako ang reporting. Triple bottom line, better working condition, reduce turnover, and improve product qualities, improve efficiency and profitability, better management of risk, enhance brand reputation, stakeholder returns, increase. Muna siya ang contents ang ako ang reporting karon nga ako ang italakay. Please bear lang sa ako ang background guys kay medyo saba. So first we have benefits of sustainable supply cycle. This focus on the triple bottom line provides the opportunity to address multiple advantages that accrue due to sustainable supply. So, ano siya, ning triple bottom is, is a business concept that state firms should commit to measuring the social and environmental impact in additional to their financial performance, which means nga ginagamit nila ni para mag-investigate inside their organization or gina-measure nila ang operation sa paghimo or ilang manufacture sa ilahang product. And also, ang triple bottom line, it has a 3 element, which is profit. So, dere gina-make sure nila ang ilahang profit is habang ga-investigate sila is nadya pun sila ma-income sa ilang paghimo sa manufacturer. Kay most of the time ang good sa mga organization is may time nga malugi sila sa ilahang ginahimo nga product or raw material, kay tungod sa ilahang paghimo sa product is magsayang good. For example, katong sa Mayflower Vehicle System. So si Mayflower Vehicle System kay amo na siya tong ga produce ang spare parts sa mga cars or sa mga sakyanan. And that time ano mo na siya, gigamit nila ang triple bottom line, gi-investigate nila unsay problema sulod sa organization didto, nakita nila ang ilang operation habang ano man good ang profit man good is ma-connect pud siya sa people. Kay ang people amo na siya ang mga worker nga katrabaho. Kung ang ilang worker is not suitable or dili condition, magka-cause og effect sa ilahang profit. Next is wait lang. Ang ari sa ano po nila sa sa the planet is gina make sure po nila ang ilahang organization or company is like kanagong eco-friendly, dili makaharm sad makaharm sa environment. Next is better working condition, reduce turnover and improve product quality. When an organization takes the time to investing the firm and activities within its supply cycle, it has the opportunity to identify the condition under which raw materials are transformed into consumers' product. So there is sa first anong better working condition, i-explain ako ganina if ang mga employee is like condition sila maghimo, which means konektado na sa ilahang trabaho sad. Kay if ever nga ganaan sila magtrabaho, ang ilang gina-produce nga product is dili siya maka-apekto or hindi siya gamay ang chance nga ma-reject or ma-defect. Reducing turnover and improve product quality. So amo to siya konektado gyapon to siya dito sa ako ang explain nga katong mga employees if na sila sa kondisyon maayo. So imbis nga tawag naman katong ma-defect nga ilang ginahimo is nga maka-apekto sa organization, dili na lang siya ma-return pa to siya, which means nga ma-avoid pa katong mga ipanghimo nila na defect or dili siya ma-lose capital sa organization. Next is improve efficiency and profitability. The pursuit of sustainability in the delivery of value calls attention to the inputs and outputs associated with every levels of the supply cycle. By focusing on efforts to reduce inputs and maximize the productivity of outputs, the firm has tremendous opportunity to raise profitability. So guys, na ako example anin niya. Mabasa naman ninyo. So ako ang best example anin niya is katong sa module tong kay Sam's Club container. 'Di ba sa mga delivery is most of the time is naagay mga ma-defect nga delivery tungod kay dili maayo ang ilahang gamit sa or material para pang delivery sa isa ka item. So that time si Sam's Club is most of gid niya na mga gamit materials pang delivery para avoid some defective products is na siya ginagamit nga container nga for container like mga balonan kay pagkaon man. So katong pagkaon is ginabutang nila dito tos amo tong ilahang gamit pang delivery, which is nga magasto sila pang materials nga kasi nang damo-damo bala para damo-damo bala nga materials na pang protective sang delivery, which is maka-cause ang ilahang sa ilahang organization na gamit na lang sila sang container para malas ang ilahang gigamit nga materials pang delivery. Next is better management risk. Firms that understand their liabilities are better positioned to limit their exposure to risk. Risks refer to variation in possible outcomes, and their likelihood assessment of liabilities include analysis of supply, cycle distribution, and their negative consequence. Sorry, if ever, ano siya, ang example na ko ani is if ever na naay better management ang isa ka company, or like maayo ang ilahang pagdala sa isa ka organization, ma-avoid gid siya sang risk nga maghatag og problema sa isa ka organization. Ali, asset asa na to dapit better na wait lang yun ari. Better management of risk. Asset refers to condition under which firm invests in specific technologies that have limited use outside of their intent. Ang asset consideration, for example, is katong sa module, nakalimot ko lang sa to siya nga kuan. Like na isa ka industry nga kinahanglan nila sang ga-maintain sang software pero hindi man sila kabalo, so nagapangita sila sang ibang kabalo nga, like for example mga IT, sila ang ga-maintain sang software sa ilang company pero kailangan nila magbayad. Next is micro-environmental issue. Refers to the overall level risk encountered in the social, economic, and the natural environment. So amo ni siya gina-investigate pud ni siya sa mga organization if ang ilahang mga product ba or ilang gina-produce na product is makakos ba sang natural disaster or makakos sang environmental harm. Enhanced brand reputation. Firms that invest in sustainable practices in the supply chain develop positive brand reputation that pay dividends in multiple relationships. For example, Cisco system has develop strong reputation as industry. Amo galit nito siya guys, tong example na kaugain na katong system is kailangan nila sang ga-maintain sang ilahang software pero mag-relay sila sa outside nga kabalo mag-maintain sang ilahang software. Next, stakeholder returns increase. Organizations that focus on the triple bottom line have the ability to anticipate and monitor risks associated with economic, social, and environmental returns. So, katong mga businesses nga naga-focus sa triple bottom line daw guys is most of the time daw ma-avoid nila ang risk nga maharap sa ilahang mga organization og matagaan dayon nila og solusyon. Mga lang to guys, thank you.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, classmates. I am Chermay Ayla Zalita. My report or my topic is the part of the delivering value by sustainable supply cycle strategies. My topic is first, asset consideration. Asset consideration is you need to consider your asset when na mayroon ka sa business. Kailangan mo pag-isipan sang tarong and i-manage ang imong business like materials, equipments, and mga machines para ma-less magamit nga energy and how to recycle your product or your equipment or machines kung hindi mo naman kailangan. Another example is kung magtindog ka sa business is kailangan mo i-analyze nga ang kinanglan mo na siya nga materials or equipment and technologies nga kailangan mo gamiton sa imong business. Second is the micro-environmental issues. Nag-refer ni siya sa overall problem and risk sa isa ka environment or sa isa ka business like sa social, economic, and natural resources. And environmental issues is dako ni siya nga impact sa aton nga mga business, kay maka-affect siya specific is sa organization or sa supply chain, especially sa location, and directly siya maka-influence sa isa ka organization. Like example ng kay macro-environmental issues, it is possible sa economic or sa environmental. So kunyari may mga bagyo or what, so maapektuhan ang isa ka business. The last is the enhanced brand reputation. Brand reputation is enhancing brand reputation through sustainable supply cycle. Practices means the company's commitment to environmental and social responsibility help to build customer trust and loyalty with its customers. Also, the stakeholders and the wild community to improve the brand image. Example is kung magpatindog ka sa isa ka business para ma-enhance ang imong brand or brand reputation, is dapat tuod ang ginahambal mo. Example, maghambal ka na this product has a pag maguba is pwede siya makayo diri nga free, or this technology is high end or what. So if ang pag sales nga mo na, then hindi siya tuod, then how to improve or how to enhance your brand reputation. So maguba ang imong brand reputation kung naghambal ka sa tuod or nag-provide ka sa true information. So the brand image will be enhancing para mahambal ang customer tuod galing nahambal niya nga. Example, another example is our product is environmental or eco-friendly, but ang tuod gali is hindi siya, or nagagamit siya po sa plastics ang mga some employees para ibalot sa isang product. That's all. My topic is all about the delivering value via sustainable supply cycle strategy. Again, good morning and thank you, sir.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Sandro Simura. The continuations of our topic is all about stakeholder return increase. Organizations that focus on a triple bottom line have the ability to anticipate and monitor risks associated with economic, social, and environmental return. When it comes to economic and social and environmental return, it's like an organization who focus on triple bottom lines, all about economic and social environmental return to monitor risk about a company. And what economic is a social economic is halimbawa ang mataas na sahod at benepisyo. Ang kumpanya ay nagbibigay ng makapagkompetensiyahang sahod at mga benepisyo na maaari makaakit at makapanatili sa mga mahusay na empleyado na mas mataas na production at kita. When it comes to social and environmental return, for the environmental return is maganda ang kapaligiran sa trabaho. Ang isang positibong mapagkatiwala ang kapaligiran sa trabaho ay nakakatulong sa mga empleyado na maging masaya. When it comes to environmental return is our employees to benefit our environmental return with environment is to be not crowded. Sustainable logistics. Sustainable logistics, also known as a green logistics, involved in integrating environmental responsible practices into all strategies of the supply chain, from sourcing raw materials into delivering products to minimize environmental impact and promote resources efficiency. There is green logistics involved integrating supply chain, integrated to from the product to sourcing of raw materials to delivering the product para ma-minimize ang environmental impact. Ang halimbawa is paraan sang pagtakbo sang operasyon sa mga supply chain na goal ay mabawasan ang mga negative effects sa atong environment, ekonomiya at lipunan. Ang unang layunin sini is para mabawasan ang carbon footprint sa mga industriya sa logistics. Ginagamit niya siya para namin gid ang ruta kag limpyo na salakyan kag sustainable na packaging. Halimbawa sa pabrika or warehouse, dapat is if ever na magamit sila sa renewable energy is mas better na good quality and safe ang ang product which come to environmental friendly good siya. And then is ang patupad ng sustainable logistics is nagadulot siya sa og damo nga benefits and like bawas sa gastos kag mapanami ang mga reputasyon sang kumpanya and nagataas ang loyalty sang customer. And logistics refers to the process of planning, allocating, and controlling human and financial resources dedicated to physical distribution, manufacturing support, and processing operations. Logistics is silang process and process sa pagplano kag implementation kag control sang daloy sa mga materials, informations kag mga iba't iba pang resources. Logistics is as a backbone of damo nga negosyo because layunin sini is to deliver good product and good time and good place. Ano sa halimbawa is nag-order ta sa online or delivery is manufacturing ta. Dapat is nag-deliver o ta product is we just come to sa packaging is nice ang packaging, nice ang product, and kung mag-deliver ta nice ang exact date and tama nga lugar. Amo na ang logistic is para to study and controlling human para sila ang implement kag sila ang plano. That's all. Thank you.
Good morning everyone, my name is Lynette K. Mariposa. My topic is all about reverse logistic, fleet optimizations, and energy efficiency. First is reverse logistic. Ang reverse logistic is the process of planning, implementing, and controlling the backward flow of goods, information, and funds related to the return of products from consumers or other points in supply chain. So, ang reverse logistic ay ang pagplano o pagpapatupad at kontrol ng isang epektibong, mahusay na gastos at kapaligiran na palakaibigan na pagbalik ng mga kalakal, mga materyales at impormasyon mula sa kanilang huling punto at paggamit hanggang sa kanilang pinagmulan. Halimbawa, pag-recycle ng materyales. Ang pagkolekta at pag-recycle ng mga bote na plastic, lata at papel ay isang malaking bahagi ng reverse logistic. Ang mga materyales na ito ay kinokolekta mula sa mga mamimili, pinoproseso at ginagamit upang makagawa ng mga bagong mga produkto. Next is about fleet optimization. Fleet optimization involves strategies to improve the efficiency and cost effectiveness of a company's vehicle fleet. So dito, ang mataas na gasto sa transportation, lalo na sa mga nauugnay sa pagkonsumo ng gasolina, ay may mga makabuluhang alalahanin sa pagpapanatili. Ang pag-optimize sa mga fleets ay nakakatulong sa mga company na mabawasan ang ilang epekto sa kapaligiran at mabawasan ang mga gastos sa operation. Example, OPS right turn policy. Pagsasanay sa mga driver nga unahin ang mga kanang pagliko ay nagbabawas ng pagkonsumo ng mga gasolina at mga emission dahil sa less idling at mas kaunting mga maniobra sa kaliwang publiko. Last is about energy efficiency. Energy efficiency refers to minimizing energy consumption in distribution and production facilities while maintaining or operational output. So dito, mapapaliit ng mga kumpanya ang mga kanilang gastos sa energy at epekto sa kapaligiran sa pamamagitan ng pag-optimize ng paggamit ng energy sa ilang mga gusali. Kasama rito ang paggamit ng mga advanced na materials sa gusali at mga disenyo upang mabawasan ang pagwala ng init at paglamig at pagtupad ng energy efficient technologies. Halimbawa, ang pagluluto. Ang paggamit ng tamang laki ng kaldero sa kalan ay tinitiyak na mahusay na paglipat ng init at iniwasan ang pag-aksaya ng energy. Sa isang pabrika, ito ay isang katulad ng pag-optimize ng mga proseso at paggamit ng tamang kagamitan para sa trabaho upang maiwasan ang pag-aksaya ng energy.
Innovative technology. Innovative technology, it's a new technology or improved tools, system, or other method that enhance efficiency and effectively for user experience. It's involved the scientific knowledge, engineer to create solution or addressing the problem. Example, smartphone. Smartphone is one of innovative technology. It is the one example. They combine the function of mobile phone, computer, cameras, and GPS in one device. The innovative technology is about creating or improving tools that make life easier, more efficient, or more enjoyable. Number 2, routing and tracking computer system. It is a technology that manages the movement of goods, vehicles, or information from one point to another. For example, GNT Express. The routing the delivery tracks if the condition is good, delivery schedule, and the path of transportation. The tracking naman ginamonitor nila ang location, ang status of items, or ang vehicles in real time. They track from the warehouse until it arrives to customers' doorstep. Third is IMS or Inventory Management Software. IMS is a software application or process that helps business to track their inventory, order, sales, and deliveries to ensure the business has the right amount of stock on hand at the right time and to minimize cost.
Good morning everyone, this is JV and I'm going to discuss the Multi-Echelon Inventory or MEI. MEI is a system where inventory is stored at multiple levels or locations before reaching customers. Think of it as a step-by-step storage and delivery system. Instead of keeping all products in one place, company use main warehouse, then send supplies to regional centers, then to local stores, and finally to customers. Like for example, a soft drink company like Coca-Cola stores bottle in a main factory, then sends them to big storage warehouses, then to supermarkets, and finally customers to buy them. The second one is radio frequency identification or RFID. RFID is a technology that uses small electronic tags and radio waves to track objects automatically. RFID tags contain electronically stored information that can be read remotely by RFID readers without direct line of sight, improving speed and accuracy in inventory tracking. Like for example in airports uses RFID tags on baggage when you check in your luggage. An RFID tag is attached, allowing airport system to track your bag and reduce the chances of getting lost. And the third one is Global Positioning System or GPS. It is a satellite-based system that helps find locations anywhere on Earth. GPS is used in logistics and transportation to track vehicle locations, optimize delivery routes, and improve fleet management. Like for example, in Amazon delivery trucks use GPS to track routes and provide real-time updates on package deliveries. Customers can see exactly where their package is and estimated delivery times. That's all. Thank you.
Good morning everyone, I am Justin Compuesto and I'm going to discuss about packaging, interorganizational relationship, and enhanced vehicle performance. So, packaging as the underlying means for ensuring that products are delivered in usable formats. So packaging represents an important element in logistics. So we all know that there are different ways to deliver the product to the end user. So sa lahat ng mga consumers talaga, packaging is the most important thing para safe yung product and usable pa din siya sa atin. So there are different types or ways para ma-deliver yung product. We have example is a truck. So sa truck, pag ma-deliver siya sa mga retailers or sa mga end users, kailangan dapat safe yung product sa loob. So doon na dapat pinag-iisipan yung packaging. Dapat sa truck, we all know na ang truck is bumpy siya, may instance na lubak-lubak yung dadaanan niya. So dapat yung packaging sa loob ng truck, kailangan firm, kailangan hindi magagalaw yung mga product sa loob para usable and safe sa mga end users. So next is interorganizational relationships. So due to the volatility and rate of change in logistics, firms are increasingly recognizing the opportunities and insight acquired through relationships. So sa interorganizational relationships naman, para masustain ng mga manufacturers yung supply cycle, kailangan may relationship within the cycle. So first we have example is Apple. Yung Apple, yung manufacturing nila is sa China. So sa China, kailangan pa nila kunin yung mga raw materials sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo. Tapos iipunin nila sa manufacturing nila sa China. Tapos pag na-assemble na, dun i-deliver naman nila sa sa hub ng Apple bago nila i-distribute naman nila sa mga accredited retail stores ng Apple. So bago naman yun, pagkatapos pala nun is yung mga accredited third-party supplier naman, yung mga, for example, dito sa Pilipinas is yung Beyond the Box, Power Mac, yun yung mga yung mga mga legit na Apple stores. Pero hindi talaga siya literal na Apple stores kasi iba yung pangalan, yung business. So yun, dapat yung relationship ng mga yun dapat magtutugma-tugma para masustain pa rin nila yung supply cycle. Yun po yung interorganizational relationships in sustainable logistics. So sa enhanced vehicle performance naman, third-party suppliers have the expertise to consolidate shipping routes and reduce inventory levels. In addition, they can train and monitor driver efforts to use fuel-efficient behaviors that lead to better vehicle performance. So yun, this vehicle performance enhancement lower personal cost, lengthen the useful life of vehicles. So yung enhanced vehicle performance naman, that third-party suppliers have the expertise. Dapat yung mga third-party suppliers dapat dapat i-enhance nila yung performance ng kanilang mga vehicle para pag magamit nila yun, mababawasan nila yung cost ng personal cost, and they also lengthen the useful life of vehicles. Yun po, yung enhancement vehicle performance para sa mas sustainable pa na logistics para sa ating mga consumers or mga retailers. Yun lamang po. Thank you.
My name is Radian C. Figurak. My reports are: first is reduce total supply cycle costs. It is all about making the entire supply chain more efficient so you can cut expenses from the moment you source raw materials to when your finished products reach customers. A big part of this is optimizing inventory management, like reducing excess stock, which not only cuts down on storage fees but also reduces waste. Streamlining your operations by identifying and fixing inefficiencies or automating certain tasks can also save money. Negotiating better deals with suppliers like securing discounts for bulk purchases helps lower the cost of sourcing materials. Building solid relationships with suppliers can lead to better deals and even joint efforts to cut costs. All of this combined helps reduce your overall supply cycle costs and boost profitability. For example, a food delivery service looking to cut down on cost could make a few smart changes to run things more efficiently. First, by adopting a just-in-time inventory system, they would only order ingredients as needed, meaning less waste and fewer costs tied up in excess stock. This helps keep things fresh and cuts down on storage expenses. They could also strike better deals with suppliers, negotiating bulk discounts for ingredients they use most often, lowering overall procurement costs. For delivery, using route optimization software helps drivers take the quickest paths, reducing fuel use and saving time, while also grouping orders together to cut down on trips. Lastly, investing in some kitchen automation speeds up meal prep and cuts down on labor costs. By making these adjustments, the service can lower its supply cycle costs and offering competitive prices without compromising quality or profitability. Second is enhanced customer service. To stand out in a competitive market, businesses must prioritize exceptional customer service, exceeding expectations and building lasting relationships. This involves proactive, personalized approach that anticipates customer needs, leveraging technology and employee training to deliver responsive, empathetic, and transparent service. By doing so, companies can foster loyalty, drive growth, and achieve long-term profitability. For example, when a tech company offers 24/7 live chat support and follows up with customers after resolving an issue, for instance, if a customer contacts the company because their product is malfunctioning, the customer service team not only resolves the issue quickly, but also sends a personalized follow-up email within a few days to ensure everything is working properly. Additionally, the company might offer a discount on future purchases or provide exclusive access to a webinar or product updates to make the customer feel valued. This proactive personalized service goes beyond simply solving the problem and helps build long-term loyalty. Third is ISO 14000 and Environmental Management Systems or EMS. ISO 14000 is a family of international standards that provide a framework for organizations to manage their environmental responsibilities and improve their environmental performance. It helps organizations identify and control their environmental impacts such as pollution, prevention, waste management, and climate change mitigation. By implementing an environmental management system or EMS based on ISO 40000, organizations can reduce their environmental footprint, improve their environmental performance, and achieve their environmental goals. Additionally, ISO 14000 certification demonstrates an organization's commitment to environmental responsibility, enhancing its reputation and credibility with stakeholders. It also supports compliance with environmental regulations, reducing the risk of non-compliance and associated penalties. Overall, ISO 14000 provides a framework for continuous improvement, encouraging organizations to regularly monitor, review, and improve their EMS to achieve ongoing environmental excellence.